Good evening and welcome back to the channel. Tonight I just wanted to take a minute to talk about the new Assassin's Creed announcement. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced and the new little welcome to Resynced video they put out. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a massive Assassin's Creed fan. I dropped off the games after around Syndicate. In fact, I think I bought Origins and thoroughly hated it, and that kind of killed my interest in any of the games. I was talked into playing Valhalla, so I bought that, and I still had the same opinion really. I thought the RPG mechanics kind of sucked. I found the combat squishy and not really enjoyable, and then the stealth was pretty much non-existent in that game. So a call to return to form was a big thing for me, and they did that with Mirage, and Mirage still had all those stupid abilities and RPG nonsense. It just wasn't what I wanted to play. But with this, I was hoping for a return to form, as it were. So I have a couple of notes on this big video they put out, mostly hosted by our friend Matt Ryan, the man who played Edward Kenway himself. And so I've taken some notes, and I'll just go through them quickly. First and foremost, Matt Ryan is very charming. He's got great charisma, and he's really the person that holds the entire video together. They made a good decision putting him as the face of this, because it's very hard not to like him. You know, he's Edward Kenway, he's Constantine. Guarantee you've got something that you like Matt Ryan from, at least if you're interested in this. The first big thing I've noticed, and you can kind of see it here, is everything is far too clean. Everything's far too clean, it's far too put together. None of the characters look sweaty or dirty or sunburned or worn down in any way. And it's something that you'd expect from, pirates sailing around in the fucking Caribbean under the sun all day. Shouldn't people be sunburned, tanned? Stead Bonnet, he's meant to be this merchant who's not really experienced with the whole thing. And he looks fine. He doesn't look like his face has been rubbed raw by all the salt air. I live by the sea. If you're down by the sea and you're not used to it, you go red very fast, even if the sun's not out. Both from sunburn and just salt air, it rubs your face, it rubs your skin if you're not used to it. It adds that extra friction, and nobody's got any of that. Everybody just looks so clean, like they're all models walking off the fucking red carpet. Second thing I noticed is all of the NPC pathing just looks a bit off, a bit janky. Like everything's a bit stilted, like it's not moving all together. In fact, that's a wider thing I've noticed across the entire the entire opening here. Apart from everything being clean and nothing looking like it's falling apart or disheveled or weather beaten. Specifically, you'll notice this in both the combat and the parkour. Everything seems stilted, like the engine's having trouble matching animations together, and so you've got this very jolty kind of movement. Edward will move forward, stop, move forward, stop, move forward, stop. And it doesn't really flow nicely, even though that being apparently one of the things they worked on so hard. I get that same feeling with the combat as well. Everything seems to be kind of slow and bomb, stop, bomb, stop, bomb, stop. There's no real flow to the combat. And again, everything seems kind of squishy, like it's all more of that RPG sort of style, which makes sense when they're using just their current engine. They're using the current Assassin's Creed engine, which is made for RPG nonsense. That's not the kind of combat we liked. The original game had fantastic free-flowing combat that made you feel like a devil of the sea, a pirate. Oh, and they got these stupid bloody effects, these booms as things happen, and these explosions as you parry things. It's just like, I'm not playing Dark Souls. I'm trying to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I'm playing my free flow combat fucking pirate game. Let me play my pirate game. And there's heavies again in this, which is fine. Heavies have been around since AC2, and they took a bit of extra effort. But guess what? They blocked your attacks. Here they just tank your attacks and attack you through them because they're running off the RPG nonsense again. And a lot of these open shots. Actually here. Look at that. Weird stilted animations for double takedowns. They've got this with a couple of different spots throughout the showcase where they're showing assassinations, and you've either got these weird camera changes or strange movement where suddenly he'll just snap down to do things. It looks like something out of a fucking anime. Again, it just doesn't fit with that whole constant behind Edward gameplay that we had in the original game. Oh, and none of the combat seems to have blood effects. Here they're talking about how they've changed the way some stealth missions work, specifically the tailing and eavesdropping missions, giving you an alternative fail state. So, if the game goes wrong, your plan goes wrong, you get caught, you can fight them instead of just immediately having to restart the mission. I'm fine with that. I think that's fine. I think some of these stealth changes they've made make sense, like having a free crouch sort of thing, where you can actually just crouch whenever you want to. That makes sense. That seems like a sensible change. Here we're getting on to the ship combat. Now, I think actually the ship combat's looking pretty good. I mean, there's some weird visual changes. I do not like the HUD. The HUD throughout the entire game, I think it looks incredibly boring and generic. But whatever, that's modern game design as it is. But I think the new naval combat looks fine. That's cool enough. They've added some commanders in so that you've got a bit more freedom with who you can choose and how you want to play the game. I think that's fine as well. Apparently they've added new abilities for them, which I'm a bit iffy about, but whatever. And they're adding stories for these new characters, including some new stories for characters like Blackbeard and Steadbonnet. Cool. The quality of these stories are yet to be seen, and I am a little concerned that the new writers are going to clash with the old style of writing. The other change they've made to ships, which they made sure to tell us about, were pets. They've added a cat and a monkey. Cool. Here we get another look at some of the combat, and going back to the naval combat, I'm worried that the combat's going to really affect the way that you enjoy boarding. Boarding used to be a lot of fun because of the combat we had. We had that incredible free-flowing combat that allowed us to go from enemy to enemy, constantly moving between them, having that kinetic, that fast kinetic sort of gameplay. I feel like this new combat's going to kind of ruin that a bit. We'll see. The other thing that I'd like to mention, here we have a look at some comparison shots, and I think this kind of really screams to the biggest issue with it. They've taken away the atmosphere of the game, that beautiful golden sun-soaked setting that we were in, and they kind of just cleaned it out. And that's my biggest issue. It looks like they've really gone for prettiness over style. And the style was what made that game so great, what made it feel so authentic to the setting. And now it's just kind of bland. I mean, it looks like it could be any Unreal game now, even though it's made in their proprietary engine. This is all being made in the modern Assassin's Creed engine, so it's all that modern Assassin's Creed parkour and combat that about 3 people like, with some of the older animations thrown in. They are very, very specific in saying this is not an RPG, which I appreciate, because it shouldn't be an RPG. They also talk about bringing in playtesters, people from the community, and I think that's great and all, but what's left of the Assassin's Creed community? Most of them jumped shipped around sort of Origins, maybe Odyssey, but a lot of them aren't around anymore. The games are falling off further and further every single year, and this fan base is shrinking massively. I mean, who have we got left to critique the games for them, apart from people who are basically Ubisoft shills at this point? I mean, I don't know any of them personally. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're all die-hard Assassin's Creed fans who have been there since the first game. But if they're still there, then I assume that they like the modern style of game, which is why everyone stopped playing. Anyway, that's all from me for tonight. Thanks for watching my little ramble about Assassin's Creed, a franchise that no one cares about anymore. I hope you're all having a lovely evening, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.